got them better rates on their key person policy, several of them came to us and said, you know what, we want you to help us with our personal life insurance, or we have some long-term care needs that we want you to kind of look at.
Because the more that we elevate the experience, the more the client will feel appreciated, personally valued, and become a stronger advocate.
It's important for us to have those conversations and get awareness out there, because if you don't, then you're not properly serving your clients' needs and their families.
Hey everybody, this is Morgan from TBA, and you're listening to the Life Insurance Link Up podcast, the show that provides real experiences from real advisors and industry leaders, as well as tips, tricks, and industry insights for advisors who care about growing themselves professionally and providing the best solutions for their clients. Thanks everybody for tuning back in to the Life Insurance Link Up podcast. Today I have Zach Gosselin with me. As you may have heard us talk about a few times, we have the Advisors Life Insurance Playbook, and today we want to give you a little bit of a preview of what one of the target markets will include. So Zach, thanks so much for joining me.
Happy to be here, Morgan.
We're just going to kick things off with the very first question I have for you, Zach. If advisors work with doctors or medical professionals, what are some first steps the advisor should take to identify the best solutions?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think this will be the one thing that's probably not necessarily unique to the doctor or medical professional field, but really for any meeting that you're going into with the new prospect or client is certainly gathering a comprehensive list of all the insurance and disability policies for review. It's especially important with doctors because, as we'll touch on in a little bit, they're going to have, generally we see them have a lot more policies, both for life insurance and for disability. So getting a comprehensive list on the front end of everything that they currently have in place. And then also making sure that you do a needs analysis with the medical professional. That can be a really important thing regardless of who you're meeting with, but kind of helping you put some numbers to paper on their current stage of life of what is the true insurance need at that time.
As you mentioned, that one's not necessarily specific to doctors and medical professionals. So on that note, what is unique when making insurance recommendations for medical professionals?
Yeah, I think distinct to the medical field would be really making sure that you understand the exact role of that professional. Like, what is their specialty, the main roles in their practice? You know, what does their day-to-day operations look like? Because that can vary widely depending on the specialty of the physician and what kind of role they're in. And then specifically making sure that you understand if they have any ownership in their particular practice. That can be really important, not only for maybe identifying some buy-sell needs or things like that, but also will affect the disability insurance offerings that you would be able to offer. And then definitely unique to the medical field, and I think especially over the past few years, you know, scheduling time with doctors can really be a challenge right now. Healthcare industry is especially strained, even pre-COVID and all the craziness that we've had in the country. Doctors are spread very thin. A lot of people are vying for their time. And so just making sure that you really have a planned out, efficient meeting schedule with the medical professionals that you're talking with can help ensure that you're providing the most value to that client.
So what are the biggest areas of concern we see when reviewing medical doctors' existing insurance policies?
Yeah, doctors can be in a unique position in that their income and financial situations can change dramatically as they progress in their field. You know, oftentimes coming out of medical school and going into residency, a doctor may have a sizable amount of debt from paying off schools and training and all those types of things. But as they move into their specialty and they're starting to earn more income, then their risk protection needs are increasing, hopefully, as their debt amounts are decreasing. So kind of making sure that you're aligning the insurance recommendations along with the other financial needs and concerns that they have at their particular stage of life. One thing that I see particularly in working with advisors and their doctor clients, it's consistent and distinct, is that they have a lot of policies spread between single or multiple carriers. And frankly, oftentimes we see things that are sold that they simply don't need. I can't tell you how many times I've seen younger doctors that have maybe been sold things while they were in residency that really weren't appropriate for somebody at that time. So incorporating policy review with your doctors and medical professional clients is vital, because as we find that they're understanding the policies that they have, making sure that they're aligning with their current needs and financial situations, and providing that independent and objective advice can really differentiate you from a lot of the other people that are trying to get in front of doctors. So in incorporating your TBA team here and doing policy reviews can be great so that we can kind of align everything more with their particular stage in life and kind of make everything a little bit more interconnected. You know, when you see a doctor with 5, 6, 7 different policies across a bunch of different carriers, it's going to be hard for them to understand exactly why they have this, why did they buy it in the first place. So incorporating all that, I think, is a great service that you as their advisor can provide.
So you've mentioned a couple coverage options that doctors may already have or ones that our advisors should be looking for. What are the 2 most effective insurance solutions we see for doctors or medical professionals?
Yeah, so obviously talked on the importance of reviewing in-force policies and that being especially important in this particular field. But I would say disability insurance, doctors are the number 1 on the list of importance for properly structured disability policies. So ensuring that their disability coverage, they may have some coverage through a group or association, but then hopefully some individual policies also. So ensuring that their policies are with reputable companies, and especially that they're with they have the correct combination of riders specific to their field is extremely important. Because you can be in a situation where a disability policy could essentially be useless to them if it's not structured properly for their exact occupation class. So Catherine in our office is a great resource to advisors in helping review and design disability coverage specific to people in the medical field. And also something unique in maybe for the more seasoned doctor, kind of in that 40 to 50-year-old range would be an overfunded insurance policy. They can be great candidates for this if they have excess annual cash flow. By overfunding a policy, you can create a nice, large, permanent death benefit that may be needed at that time for income replacement needs. But then also with that excess cash flow and contributing premium into that, they can accumulate some cash value that's tax deferred. And then eventually they could pull from that at retirement in the form of tax-free policy loans. So I won't get too far into the weeds on that, but just something to kind of be on the lookout for if you're ever talking to a doctor client and they mention having annual excess cash flow and trying to think of some unique ways to position that money. Provide a lot of flexibility for them. Down the road, maybe they want to continue to hold the policy as a wealth transfer tool, or again, just another place to kind of diversify some retirement holdings so that they can pull money from that when the time is needed.
Thanks for all of the insights, Zach. Hopefully some of this provided you with some food for thought or potentially some solutions for some clients you already have or ones that you've been pursuing. The needs analysis and other solutions that Zach mentioned can all be found in the Life Insurance Playbook. That's at tba.com/playbook. As always, thanks for listening today, and never hesitate to reach out to us with any questions. Thanks for listening. You can find all the information mentioned in this episode, as well as other valuable resources, at tba.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast, and while you're there, feel free to leave us a rating and let us know what you think.